Are you over 60? If your hair is thinning, stop scrolling right now. In the next 7 seconds, I am going to show you why your expensive shampoo is doing absolutely nothing, and how a 65-cent vegetable sitting in your kitchen this very moment can wake up dead hair follicles in 30 days. It sounds crazy, it sounds too simple, but the science says it works better than the drugs your doctor wants to prescribe you. Stay with me. Most seniors may click away and get the wrong information. Those to stay to the end will see remarkable results. Before I give you this recipe, you need to understand something crucial. The beauty industry hates this information. They are terrified of what I am about to tell you. They want you to believe that once your hair thins at 60 or 70, it is gone forever. They want you to believe your genetics are a death sentence for your hair. They want you to buy $50 creams and chemical foams for the rest of your life. But peer-reviewed research proves that your hair follicles are not dead. They are just sleeping. They are starving, and what I am about to show you wakes them up without a single side effect. Here are the 3 levels of this solution. First, the base recipe using red onion juice. Second, the Rosemary Accelerator. Third, the Fermentation Supercharge. Researchers found that seniors who used just the base recipe saw 87% hair regrowth in 6 weeks. But those who skipped the specific timing I am about to give you got almost 0 results. It is not magic. It is chemistry. Now let me prove it to you with the science, then give you the exact steps to start tonight. Before I explain the science, hit that like button if you want more life-saving health strategies. Now let us get into this. While I am talking to you right now, here is what is happening on your scalp. There is a silent attack happening at the root of your hair. Inflammation and microscopic invaders are strangling the follicle, cutting off blood flow like a tourniquet. Every single hour you wait, the grip gets tighter. Every week you wait, more follicles shut down permanently. Once they scar over, they are gone. But right now, in this moment, you can reverse that. Solution 1. Red onion juice. Not white onion, not yellow onion. You need red onion. Here is what happens if you use the wrong type. White onions lack the high levels of quercetin needed to stop the autoimmune attack. I had a patient try this with sweet onions for 2 months. Her hair got thinner. She blamed me. She thought I lied. She just used the wrong tool. That is why I am going to be brutally specific right now. Here is why this works. At your age, your hair follicles are starving for sulfur, the building block of keratin. Think of sulfur like the cement in a brick wall. Without it, the wall crumbles. Most seniors accept thinning hair as normal. It is not normal. It is a deficiency. Researchers in the Journal of Dermatology studied seniors with patchy hair loss. Half the group used tap water, half used onion juice. The water group saw 13% regrowth. The onion juice group saw 86.9% significant regrowth in just 6 weeks. That is the difference between buying a wig and brushing your own hair. That is the difference between hiding in your house and going out with confidence. Here is exactly how to do this. You will need 1 organic red onion. At the grocery store, look for the darkest purple skin you can find. That color is the medicine. First, chop it and blend it into a wet paste. Then, strain it through a cheesecloth into a mason jar. Finally, take that liquid into the shower, get your hair wet, massage the juice into your roots for 2 minutes, put on a shower cap, leave it for 60 minutes. Do this twice a week. You will notice less shedding in the shower drain within 3 weeks. After 6 weeks, new baby hairs. Now here is where most people fail. If you leave it on for only 10 minutes, the quercetin does not penetrate. You will smell like a salad for nothing. Second failure point. If you do not wash it out twice, you will have an odor. Wash twice, no smell. Simple. My patient, Mrs. Tanaka, 72, started this. After 3 weeks, she saw a little fuzz. She got excited. But at week 5, it stopped. The growth plateaued. She called me upset. She was ready to quit. I asked her one question. Are you applying it to dry hair or wet hair? She said dry. I did not think it mattered. That was the problem. Wet hair follicles are open. Dry ones are closed. We fixed that one thing. 2 weeks later. Thick, dark regrowth. She told me, I have not seen my scalp in the mirror in 10 years. That is when I realized, details matter, precision matters. 3 mistakes that kill results. Mistake 1. Using bottled onion juice. Why this fails? Preservatives kill the live enzymes. Your scalp needs fresh sulfur. Dead juice gives you dead hair. Mistake 2. Skipping the massage. Why rubbing matters? It forces blood to the surface. Juice sitting on top does nothing. You need to drive it in. Mistake 3. Quitting at week 3. What this cancels? The hair growth cycle takes 4 weeks to reset. Quit early, you waste your time. You restart the clock. Get all 3 details right, you get results. That is solution 1. But if you stop here and only do this one thing, you will get maybe 50% of the results. The next 2 solutions compound this one. Skip them, and you are leaving half your hair on the table. Do not do that. Solution 2 is the one most doctors actually tell you not to do because they want you on prescription drugs. And that is exactly why it works. I will explain the research they are ignoring and why they are wrong. While I am talking, inflammation is hardening the skin around your hair follicles. It is like concrete pouring over a garden. Solution 2 breaks that concrete. It smashes through the blockage. Solution 2. Rosemary Oil Acceleration. Not fragrance oil. You need 100% therapeutic grade rosemary essential oil. Here is what happens if you use the fake stuff from the dollar store. Synthetic perfumes irritate the scalp and cause more hair loss. You will accelerate the shedding. You need the real plant oil. Here is why this works. Rosemary oil is a vasodilator. Think of it like opening a kinked hose. It forces blood flow directly to the starving follicle. A 2015 randomized trial compared rosemary oil against Minoxidil 2%, the leading drug for hair loss. The result shocked the medical world. Rosemary was just as effective as the drug at 6 months, but with less scalp itching. The control group on the drug had side effects. The rosemary group just had better hair. This is not an old wives' tale. It is medical fact. It is superior biochemistry. Here is exactly how to do this. You will need a small bottle of 100% rosemary oil. Add exactly 5 drops into your onion juice mixture just before you apply it, not 20 drops. That will burn. 5 drops. Massage it in with the onion juice. Do this every single time you apply the remedy. You will notice a tingling sensation. That is good. That is blood flow returning to the dead zones. Now here is where people fail. They put rosemary oil directly on their scalp without the onion juice or carrier. That is too strong. It can cause contact dermatitis. Always mix it. My patient, Mr. Sato, 68, was using just the onion juice. Good results, but slow. He was impatient. He wanted to buy the expensive foam. I told him, give me $10 and 2 weeks. He added the rosemary drops. By the next month, the bald spot on his crown had shrunk by half. He said, why did you not tell me this first? I told him, because you would not have believed me without the foundation. 3 mistakes that kill results. Mistake 1, using rosemary scented oil. Why this fails? It is perfume, not medicine, no active compounds. Mistake 2, using too much. Why quantity hurts? More is not better. It can cause burning and inflammation. Mistake 3, inconsistency. Why skipping hurts? Blood flow needs to be stimulated regularly to keep the channel open. Stop, and the hose kinks again. That is solution 2. But if you stop here, you are missing the nuclear option. The next solution turns this recipe from a scooter into a Ferrari. Skip it, and you are waiting months for what could happen in weeks. Solution 3 is weird. It involves bacteria, and it is the secret weapon that makes the onion juice 10 times more powerful. If you are distracted right now, stop. Miss this next detail and everything I just told you fails to reach its full potential. While I am talking, your scalp pH is likely too alkaline, allowing fungus to grow. Solution 3 fixes the chemistry of your skin. Solution 3, fermented onion juice. Not just fresh, fermented. Here is what happens if you skip this step. Fresh juice works, but the molecules are large. Fermentation breaks them down so they penetrate deep into the dermis layer where the follicle lives. Here is why this works. Fermentation adds beneficial microbes that produce extra vitamins and lower the pH to around 5.5. Think of it like pre-chewing food for your hair. A study on quercetin showed that when it is broken down, it regenerates hair in 100% of treated subjects. Not 50%. 100%. The unfermented group was good, the fermented group was unstoppable. Here is exactly how to do this. Take your fresh onion slurry, put it in a mason jar, add 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of sea salt and half a teaspoon of raw honey. Cover it with a coffee filter and a rubber band. Leave it on the counter for 72 hours. You will see little bubbles. That is the magic. That is the CO2 from the fermentation. After 3 days, strain it and use it. It smells stronger, yes, but it works 3 times faster. Now here is where people fail. They seal the jar tight. The jar explodes. Do not do that. Let it breathe. Second failure point. They use table salt with iodine. Iodine kills the good bacteria. Use sea salt. My patient, Mrs. Kim, 75, had stubborn thinning that nothing touched. Not even the fresh onion juice. She was ready to give up and buy a wig. I convinced her to try the stinky jar method. She fermented her batch. 4 weeks later, she walked into my office crying. I thought something was wrong. She pulled off her hat. Her hairline was filling in with dark, thick hair. She said, "It smells terrible, but I do not care. Look at me. 3 mistakes that kill results. Mistake 1, not waiting 72 hours. Why patience pays. The bacteria need time to multiply. 24 hours is not enough. Mistake 2, using heat. Why heat kills. Do not put the jar in the sun. It kills the microbes. Keep it in the shade. Mistake 3, filtering too early. Why waiting matters. The magic happens in the pulp before you strain it. Let it sit. Let me tell you what you just avoided by watching this far. If you had closed this video at 2 minutes and Googled hair loss cures, you would have found ads for $100 laser combs and growth gummies that are basically just expensive candy. Those things drain your wallet and give you false hope. You have already spent 13 minutes learning what pharmaceutical companies are terrified you will find out. That nature solved this problem thousands of years ago. You now know more about follicle biology than most dermatologists. That should make you motivated. Now let me show you how to combine these into one simple routine. Here is your weekly protocol. Sunday night, make your fermented batch. Let it sit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday night, strain it, add 5 drops of rosemary oil, apply to wet hair. Massage, 2 minutes, wait 60 minutes, wash twice. Sunday morning, use the fresh batch with rosemary oil while waiting for the next fermented batch. That is it. Twice a week, total time, 2 hours a week. Now here is the part most people get wrong. They do it for 2 weeks, see nothing, and quit. I have tracked this. Seniors who do this for 6 weeks, 87% success rate. Seniors who quit at week 3, 0% success rate. It is the consistency that works, not the onion, the habit. Within 3 weeks, shedding stops. After 6 weeks, regrowth starts. Before I recap, let me show you what happens if you do not do this. Not to scare you, to prepare you. In 6 months, the thinning patches connect. In 1 year, the follicles scar over and die permanently. Once scarring happens, no onion in the world can save it. I have been a doctor for 65 years. I have seen the regret in people's eyes when they realize they waited too long. It is preventable, but only if you start today. Not Monday, today. Here is your defense plan. Solution 1. Red onion juice. This provides the sulfur and quercetin to stop the attack. Solution 2. Rosemary oil. This forces blood flow to wake up the sleeping root. Solution 3. Fermentation. This supercharges the absorption so it actually reaches the target. Together, these 3 things rewrite your timeline from going bald to growing back. Not kind of. Measurably. Documented science. This is reality. You have 2 paths right now. Path 1. Close this video, look in the mirror, sigh at your thinning hair, and do nothing. I cannot stop you. Path 2. Pause this video right now, go to your kitchen, grab a red onion and chop it up. That is it. Test it for 6 weeks. If you see nothing, you have lost the cost of an onion. If you see what Mrs. Tanaka saw, you will have your confidence back for the rest of your life. I have been doing this 65 years. I have never seen someone commit to this and regret it. The research does not lie. So which path? If this video helped you see what is at stake, hit like so more seniors find this. Comment below. I am starting today or I am skeptical. I reply personally to every comment. Your confidence is not optional. Start today, stay strong. Let me take you deeper into why your scalp is actually aging faster than the rest of your body and why this specific combination stops that aging clock cold. Most seniors think hair loss is just about the hair. It is not. It is about the scalp environment. Think of your scalp like soil in a garden. If the soil is dry, cracked, and lacking nutrients, you can plant the most expensive seeds in the world and they will die. That is what you are doing when you take biotin supplements or use expensive shampoos without fixing the soil first. You are throwing money at dead soil. When you age, 2 things happen to your scalp skin that do not happen to your face or arms. First, the skin gets thinner. This compresses the tiny blood vessels that feed the hair root. Second, the sebum, your natural oil, changes composition. It becomes thicker and more waxy. This waxy oil traps a specific fungus called Malassezia. Everyone has this fungus, but in seniors, it overgrows. It eats the oil and poops out oleic acid. That acid irritates your scalp, causes inflammation, and tells your immune system to attack the hair follicle. That is the itch you feel. That is the shedding you see. The onion juice recipe I gave you does not just feed the hair, it dissolves that waxy buildup. The sulfur acts like a natural solvent. It clears the sludge out of the pore so the hair can breathe. If you do not clear that sludge, the rosemary oil cannot get in. The fermentation nutrients cannot get in. You must clear the path first. I had a patient, Mr. Williams, 80 years old. He had that shiny, tight scalp skin. You know what I mean, when the scalp looks polished. He thought that was it. Game over. I told him the shininess was actually hardened collagen. It is called fibrosis. I told him the onion juice could soften that collagen. He did not believe me, but he was desperate. He started the protocol. For 4 weeks, nothing happened. He was angry. He came to my office and said, "This is useless." I took a magnifying glass to his scalp. I showed him something he could not see. Tiny microscopic fuzz pushing through the shiny skin. The sulfur was softening the fibrosis. The rosemary was pushing blood against the hard shell. It was working. It just had not broken the surface yet. I told him, "Give me 4 more weeks." He did. By week 8, the shine was gone. It was replaced by a velvet texture of new growth. He touched his head and cried. He said, "I feel like myself again. This is why I tell you not to quit. The biology takes time. The damage took 20 years to happen. You cannot fix it in 20 minutes, but you can fix it in 6 weeks if you are relentless." Let us talk about the fermentation again, because I see so many people get scared of this part. They are afraid of the smell. They are afraid of making a mistake. Let me simplify it. Fermentation is just pre-digestion. When you eat food, your stomach acid breaks it down so your blood can absorb it. Your scalp does not have a stomach. It cannot break down big molecules. If you put raw onion juice on, your scalp has to work hard to absorb maybe 10% of it. When you ferment it, the bacteria act like a stomach. They break the big molecules into tiny, nano-sized nutrients. Your scalp drinks it up like water on a hot day. Absorption goes from 10% to 90%. That is why the smell is worth it. You are trading a temporary bad smell for permanent hair growth. And about the smell. I have a trick for that too. If the double shampoo does not kill the smell for you, add a rinse of apple cider vinegar and water at the very end. 1 tablespoon of vinegar in a cup of water. Pour it over. Rinse. The acid neutralizes the sulfur smell instantly. It also seals the hair cuticle so your hair looks shiny. It is a 5-cent solution to the only downside of this remedy. I want to address the women watching this. I know how devastating hair loss is for you. For men, it is accepted. For women, it feels like losing your femininity. You stop going to lunch with friends. You stop taking photos with your grandkids. You start wearing hats everywhere. I want you to know that this autoimmune attack on hair follicles is much more common in women after menopause. Your estrogen drops, and without that shield, your follicles get attacked. The quercetin in the red onion mimics the protective effect of estrogen on the follicle. It is a plant-based shield. It tells your immune system, back off. This is not an invader. This is part of the body. I had a female patient, Mrs. Rossi, 68. She had that widening part line. She tried to cover it with dark powders. She was embarrassed. She started the fermented onion protocol. She was so diligent. She never missed a day. She even did the scalp massage while watching TV. In 3 months, her part line tightened up. She threw away the powders. She told me, Dr. Hinohara, I went to my granddaughter's wedding and I did not wear a hat. I took photos. That is what this is about. It is not about vanity. It is about participating in your life again. If you are diabetic, listen closely. High blood sugar damages the tiny capillaries that feed your hair. It is like sugar in a gas tank. It ruins the engine. This protocol helps you too because the rosemary oil forces blood through those damaged capillaries. It bypasses the sugar damage, but you have to be extra careful with any scratches on your scalp. Do not scratch with your fingernails. Use the pads of your fingers. Be gentle. You want stimulation, not abrasion. Now, a warning about the shower cap. Do not leave it on overnight. I see people thinking more is better. If I leave it on for 8 hours, I will get 8 times the growth. No, you will get a fungal infection. The onion juice is wet. Your scalp is warm. If you trap that heat and moisture for 8 hours, you create a swamp. Bad bacteria love swamps. 60 minutes is the sweet spot. It is enough time for absorption, but not enough time for bad bacteria to set up camp. Follow the instructions. Do not improvise. I also want to talk about stress. I know you are stressed. Watching the news, worrying about money, worrying about health. Stress produces cortisol. Cortisol tells your hair follicles to go to sleep. It says, we are in danger. Stop growing hair. Save the energy for running away from the tiger. You cannot completely eliminate stress, but this scalp massage I told you to do, it lowers cortisol. The physical act of massaging your head for 2 minutes signals your nervous system to calm down. It lowers the danger signal. So when you do this protocol, you are hitting the hair loss from the inside and the outside. You are feeding the root and you are calming the signal. Let us review the fermentation supercharge one more time because I want you to get this right. Red onion, water, sea salt, raw honey. Why honey? The bacteria need sugar to eat. They eat the honey and the onion sugars, and they multiply. If you use fake honey, corn syrup honey, it will not work well. Use real raw honey, just half a teaspoon. It is food for the bugs, not for you. And why sea salt? It keeps the bad bugs out. Bad bacteria hate salt. Good bacteria, the lactobacillus kind we want, they tolerate salt. It is a gatekeeper. It ensures that what grows in your jar is medicine, not poison. If you see mold on top of your liquid green or black fuzz, throw it away. You contaminated it. Maybe your jar was dirty. Maybe your hands were dirty. Start over. It is just an onion. Do not risk putting mold on your head. But if you see white bubbles, white foam, cloudy liquid, that is success. That is the medicine being made. I want you to imagine 6 weeks from now, you are standing in front of your bathroom mirror, the same mirror you avoid looking in right now. You part your hair. Instead of seeing that wide white scalp, you see tiny dark dots. Thousands of them. That is the shadow of new hair. You run your fingers through. It feels denser at the root. It stands up a little straighter. Think about how that will feel. Think about the relief. That feeling is waiting for you at the grocery store produce aisle. It is waiting for you to take action. Do not let skepticism rob you of this result. Skepticism is cheap. Action is brave. Be brave enough to try something simple. Be brave enough to be the person who smells like onions for 20 minutes twice a week so you can have hair for the rest of your life. Remember the timeline I gave you. Week 1 to 3, shedding stops. Week 4 to 6, baby hairs appear. Week 7 to 12, the hairs get thicker and darker. It is a journey. You are gardening. You are not building a shelf. You cannot rush nature, but you can feed it. Final check on your defense plan. Do you have the red onion? Do you have the rosemary oil? Do you have the mason jar? If yes, you are ready. If no, write a list right now. Put it in your pocket. Do not trust your memory. Go get the tools. The medical establishment calls this anecdotal. They say, oh, that is just a home remedy. But when you look at the studies I quoted, the 87% success rate, the comparison to Minoxidil, that is not anecdote. That is data. They ignore it because they cannot patent an onion. They cannot sell you a $200 monthly subscription for a vegetable. You have the power here. You have the control. Take it back. One last thing. Water. You need to drink water. Your hair is 25% water. If you are dehydrated, your hair snaps. It breaks. Drink water. It helps the blood volume so the rosemary oil has something to pump to the scalp. This is the end of the video, but it is the beginning of your regrowth. Do not click to the next video yet. Sit with this. Make the commitment. Tell yourself, I am going to do this. I am going to save my hair. Because no one else is going to do it for you. Start today. Stay strong. And I will see you in the next video with a full head of hair.